What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we have a Mercedes-Benz, which is a GLE 350. So this GLE 350 is not only a GLE, but it's a GLE Coupe, and you'll see more of that when you get to the back of the vehicle, where we have that coupe design. So this GLE Coupe has an interesting and controversial comments from people because of that coupe design, which some people don't really like because it takes away some bits of practicality of having an SUV. We all know that the coupe design was first implemented by BMW, having that slope line at the back over there, and other manufacturers like Mercedes-Benz pretty much derived that from the BMW. Is it the X6? Yeah, I think it's the S6 that did that as the first vehicle having that coupe design on an SUV. It was pretty interesting. I really think the BMW has done it very well. Being the pioneer of that design, it had implemented that design pretty well. It has that sexy look at the front with the headlights. Look at the daytime running lights, the way they have that strip. I just love it, that strip over there at the front. And then it has the single, what do you call this type of grille? Like it has that single chrome line that runs from one edge to the other. I prefer this as opposed to the other one. I really like how neat it looks and blends in well with the front grille of the vehicle. At the side we have those massive tires. Let's take a look at the tire size, which is 275 by 45 21 inch. So we have 21-inch wheels at the front, and let's also check if they are a staggered setup. Yeah, we have 315 at the back, 21-inch. So basically BMW and Mercedes have this type of staggered setup where we have the rear wheels, the front wheel being smaller in width than the rear wheel. That makes sense because we have more traction coming from the rear side, trying to pull the vehicle to move it to the front or maybe even reversing. So it makes sense to have thicker tires at the back. So this car ideally should be rear wheel drive biased, but they usually come with an all-wheel drive setup depending on the one you're looking for, because the 4MATIC usually has an all-wheel drive. At the back we have this look. Now this is where I think things start to get a little bit less interesting, especially the headlight design. I don't know, it feels a bit off. It looks awkward, but of course some people will like it. I personally don't prefer this, but we have this lip at the back looking like a rear spoiler, and then moving on to the bottom. So over here is where you have this lever to open, or the button to open your trunk, which is also an awkward position because if I'm standing like this, I'm not even that tall, I'll have to slightly bend so that I can reach to open the trunk. In other vehicles you'll have it over here, maybe somewhere over here. I don't know why they did not place it here. Probably because this right here, this logo, is actually the reverse camera. I'll show you how it behaves. When you put the vehicle in reverse, you'll find this logo opening up so that you can have the reverse camera over there. So maybe that's why they did not have the opening over there. So you have to press here to open the trunk. And before we get to the inside, let's finish up with the exterior first. So the last thing I'll talk about is the exhaust, which is not an exhaust. So Mercedes have this notorious behavior of putting up some fake exhaust. This, first of all, is plastic and there is nothing. It goes to nowhere, like literally there's nothing there. So the exhaust is actually underneath somewhere over the other side, and this is just a piece of decoration. Side of the car we have the side steps, or what we call the running boards, and they're pretty firm because they're metallic. Seated at my driving position in this vehicle, and the first thing I'll say is that the sloping roofline is very noticeable. I'm in an SUV, but I feel like I'm in a sedan. That's because the roof is just way like close to the ceiling is close to my head. Or maybe I should lower the seat height. Yeah, that feels better. But still, like, it's a blend of an SUV and a coupe, so you definitely expect that feeling of being a bit nimble, but at the same time you have the practicality of an SUV. Talking about practicality, let's look at the spaces you have in this vehicle. All the regular spaces, we have cup holders, 2 of them over here. We have this center space where you can add some extra stuff. In the center console, you can open it up, not the biggest, but at least you have some storage as well. You can place maybe your personal items in there. We have a glove box. You can open from that, and it's lockable with a key over there. Door bins, which are pretty huge. You can place something in there. Opening the trunk can be happening. You can open the trunk from the driver's seat, which is nice. I'm only 5'8". I don't know if you can see my head. You can see the kind of room I have. I'm only 5'8", so someone who's like 6 feet tall, they might have their head maybe, especially at this side where we have the slanting, or the joining of the roof and the side of the vehicle. You might have your head hitting over here, so the space isn't that plenty, and that's thanks to the sloping roof line making it the coupe design. So that's one of the bits that make it a bit nonsensical to have a coupe, because why would you have an SUV and at the same time it doesn't have enough space inside of it? That beats the whole purpose of an SUV. Otherwise, leather seats at the back as well, very nice stitching, a center console for your rear passengers with cup holders over here. You can also rest your arm, and it has a very comfortable and raised position. The rear seats are also heated. You can see them over here with these controls, and we also have the climate. Is it really climate control? Nah, this is for the seats, it's not for the climate. Yeah, last but not least, to the trunk, with that awkward opening position. And then you can also see the sacrifice that you have when you have a coupe. This slanting, if it would have gone like this, that would be a lot of space saving. But for the coupe, they get to steal that from you, so that you have less trunk space. But otherwise, I'd say the boot space is actually enough. I can fit a couple of suitcases back here comfortably without struggling. We have a spare tire. Another challenge about this is the loading, like the loading position. If I have a heavy luggage and I'm trying to get it up to the trunk, it can be quite of a challenge because the vehicle is raised way off the ground, and this stuff here doesn't really help.